you can implement one new feature to the human body. What is it? The ability to download, upload any information directly to your brain like they do in The Matrix. Want to go on a weekend getaway to Sweden? Just install the Swedish package to your brain and you are now fully fluent in the language, including obscure cultural references that only people living there for a long time would get. For our visual and auditory experience to be recorded on a biological hard drive that we can access at any point in time to re-watch and listen to the memories, it never degrades over time and never loses memories. We can only access our own, but we could share a memory with anyone of our choosing. How is to be determined. How I wish this were true and we were capable of such. The ability to file and organize memories. Like a computer, you have complete access and recall. Whenever you want to experience a memory, you can pull it up and fully relive it. If you don't like a memory, you can delete it. The delete folder permanently empties after 90 days, so if you decide you want to keep a memory, you can re-upload it from the delete folder. Empathy regulators. Everyone is empathetic towards all other humans at all times. No more murder or bomb strikes from above. No more shitty wages or workplace sexual harassment. No more shitty behavior towards each other. Your dad stops hating trans people. Hell, Fox News will go dead for an entire day because they'll have to scrap all their stories. No more homelessness. No more medical debt. No more untreated mental illnesses, and no more psychopaths or narcissists. Extreme evolutionary adaptation. Alabama Darwin from Marvel Comics, only less extreme. Are you a swimmer? Do you spend all your time swimming? Your cells will slowly rearrange themselves to better suit that environment. They'll grow fins and gills. That's just one example. Would also screw with the racists when white people start developing darker skin on the equator because it's subjectively better in terms of survival in some environments. Would certainly change society if people literally adapted to their surroundings. Even if it was slowly. Let's say that it takes a minimum of a year. Still really cool. The ability to expel fat from your system at will. I'm not talking about changing metabolism or not developing fatty tissue though. More like, you can treat body fat like your hair or fingernails. You want long hair and nails? Let them grow out. You want them to be short, or a specific length? Go for it. Same thing for body fat. You wanna get rid of it? Pop a squat, get to pushing, and let fatty goo ooze out of your butthole. You want to gain weight? Well, figure out whatever your body does to gain weight and do that. The ability to focus one's attention on an aspect of their body to control its healing, growth, sensation, etc. Mediate, and your cancer is gone. Think about your glamour muscles and poof. You've got your ideal action figure physique. Focus on your eyes and you have eagle vision, and can throw your glasses away. Get an injury, turn the pain off and heal extra fast. Don't want to get someone pregnant, or get pregnant yourself? You can just turn off that ability. Feeling depressed? You just have to decide not to be. You could even regrow limbs or reverse aging. Possibilities are endless. Have the ability to see a giant list of bodily processes that go on automatically and consciously and be able to toggle them to a desired setting and run diagnostics on all your body systems to find out if anything is wrong. With these settings it allows for so many options. You can now instantly sleep or stay awake because you can change it to voluntary command. Women can decide when they want the period to happen. Guys now have master control over erections and both sexes can decide when they want an orgasm to happen, and you save on doctor bills since you can accurately self-diagnose. The ability to construct, reconstruct, and deconstruct your limbs or entire body at will, making yourself physically better and healthier. Only downside would be overusing it in a short time, which could lead to you having a bloody nose, cough blood, and overall become nauseated and pass out for a full 14 to 20 hours to let your brain optimize and reconstruct itself. making itself stronger. Your mental capacity broadens as well, and allowing you to make use of that ability a bit more than before. Retractable arms. Sometimes arms just get in the way. The streets would feel half as busy if we could all retract our arms and we're just walking torsos with heads. My narrow sofa would be a lot more comfortable too. However, there must be an automatic safety system for it to work. For example, if you found yourself toppling over, your arms would shoot back out quickly and automatically so you could regain balance, or protect yourself from the impact of the fall. A noise canceller so that when I'm taking a nap and my mom slams the door open and starts singing ABBA at the top of her lungs, I can switch it on and not want to kill her. This happened to me less than 5 minutes ago and I'm really bitter about it. I want a muffler in my brain so she will just be drowned out. Control over the parasympathetic nerve system, which would allow us control over hormones and gland secretion, automated response, like heart rate, digestive system functions and pupil dilation. It would allow you to control so much aspect of our lives and prevent or compensate for some disease. It would be a total game changer. Quite unsure. A healing system like Wolverine would be nice, but there will be too many people on heart. Maybe, because we are living on a water planet, the ability to breathe underwater. Being amphibious would be fantastic, so much to explore, a whole new world. I will for sure live in an underwater city. Or eventually the ability to better thermoregulate our body, so being able to survive extreme hot or cold areas. This is going to sound silly, but the ability to create vitamins, like vitamin C. Humans are one of very few animals that cannot create vitamin C in their body naturally. We evolved from creatures who ate enough from their diets that we lost the ability to generate it ourselves. The same follows, potentially, for a lot of other vitamins. My feature is that the human body does not need anything nutrient that is composed of raw materials we can otherwise eat. Target-based fuel source switching, that is instant ketosis in any specific part of the body. If we could just burn fat when we wanted without needing to drastically change diets, we could save a lot of money on specialized foods. Health insurance would cost less because people would be healthier, not abusing diet pills, gym injuries, and the diseases caused by morbid obesity. I think there may even be less bullying in schools, eating disorders. And if we get really lucky, no more detox tea ads. Total cell manipulation. Imagine being able to control how and where and when cells grow. Lost a tooth? Don't worry, just control your cells and direct them towards your teeth and grow a new one in its place. Cut your finger while chopping carrots? Just direct your cells to the cut area and stimulate the healing. Gray hair? Just make some pigmentation cells and send them towards your head. They should grow your original color when they grow now, where you can just turn your hair into about any natural color you want. The possibilities are endless, but here's the best part: growing old and developing dementia or a brain disease, just grow new brain cells and replace the damaged ones with them. Boom. Diseases due to old age are now a thing of the past. Make women's bodies function like Republicans think they do. Pregnancy is always a choice. If you don't want to get pregnant, you can shut that down before implantation. Period cramps are non-existent. Periods are never debilitating for anyone. You really can hold it in for periods, so no more need for tampons, pads, etc. ever. I got 2 ideas. Humans can play music that radiates from their bodies, out loud or not. Males can now, on command, grow a chest, and women can grow dicks. Stops annoying gendering, and it seems funny, for non-binary people, they are the almighty and can do both. You submit to your brain, by telling it, your gender. Voluntary control of the trillions of cells in the body. This means we could technically be cured from any disease or injury. We could greatly build muscle. We could boost our brain power. We won't ever get hangovers when drinking. We could possibly won't age. In fact, we could regress or progress age at will. Turning off pain receptors, specific ones if they exist. I'd anything about brain biology. If pain exists to go, hey, there's something wrong here, fix it. I should be able to turn off the pain receptor once I've fixed the problem, like closing a computer pop-up, especially if it's something that needs time to heal. Why should a scrap hurt for hours once I've already done all I can by putting a band-aid on it? Plus, migraines. I know I slept poorly last night and that's why my head hurts. There's nothing I can do about it until the next few sleep cycles. Leave me alone about it. Basic regenerative abilities similar to that of bones, applied to parts of the body that don't already have that ability, like teeth, sight, hearing, hair follicles for you baldies out there, etc. I'm not talking full-blown regeneration where you could withstand an atomic bomb and act like nothing happened, but enough regeneration to certain parts of the body where there are none to make things so much easier and less worrisome about our daily lives. You get a tooth knocked out, give it a few weeks and a new one should grow in, just like if you had baby teeth. Your eyesight is going bad, give it some time for it to bounce back. You lost your hearing after rupturing your eardrums, wait a little and your eardrums should reform in no time. Our DNA replication systems now utilize modern data integrity methods to defend against mutations. The odds of even a single human suffering a mutation at any time between now and the end of the universe is less than 50-50. Cancer is now gone forever. External hard drive. There's a lot of memories I love, but remembering something stupid in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep is completely useless. How to do long division or percentages, never gonna happen. My best friend in middle school telephone number, 41,019, square root of 841, 29, because Willow said it in an episode of Buffy. Adjustable rate metabolism. Basically, you set it like a thermostat to the setting you want. Warm weather, cold weather, survival, fat burn, etc. And then you could go to sleep, or do whatever. Burn thousands of calories off while you sleep, or set it to gain muscle. Whatever you want. The easy way. Maybe even set it to a hibernation mode if you just want to sleep for a week. Although I suppose you'd have to have a knob to set it. Maybe you'd have to twist your nipples or something to set it. I don't know. You get the idea. The ability to take pictures whenever you blink. I've seen some incredible things I'd love to have captured but couldn't. Also, it would be helpful in crime situations as well. Evidence. I'm sure there would be other reasons, but mostly so I can see incredible things and look back at them. I know you can just bring your phone or camera, but I still think it would be cool. It would just start with everywhere being a 24/7 place, which people would be all for due to convenience. But then people would lobby to increase the amount of hours it's legal to work someone in one shift to keep a 24/7 place staffed, and increase the amount of hours worked required to qualify for overtime pay, since they have to pay people for longer shifts now, and finally lobby for the removal of limits to work hours at all to keep up with the constant hours. Sleep being optional sounds like a nightmare, no pun intended. I still can't afford to live, never mind afford my nephew or his deadbeat dad. But she thinks another kid will be good for my nephew and encourage her deadbeat to be less of a deadbeat and get a job. I also know someone who got pregnant to fix her relationship with a cheating boyfriend. So yes, unwanted babies will 1000% still be a thing. A lot of people would instantly crank their metabolism up to max, thinking that would let them lose weight and or eat whatever they please, without understanding the strain that would put on the organs involved, including the heart. Said organs would be rapidly overworked and would fail. Can't believe nobody is saying the ability to control your metabolic rate at will. Eat too much junk food, crank up your metabolism for a bit and burn it off. You might be too warm or have to go to the bathroom more. But whatever. Trying to bulk up, Maybe you'd even be able to regulate the rate at which your body burns fat relative to muscle. If your metabolic rate were fully controllable, so many issues would be solved. From my understanding, the reason we can choke on food whereas other mammals can't is the placement of the larynx, which gives us the ability to make more complex sounds, which gives us the ability to communicate complex ideas, thereby utilizing our collective knowledge to create a societal construct. In other words, the part of our design that gives us our superpower and enables us to manipulate the natural world can also be lethal. Kinda weird. This is most likely false. While wearing an eye patch could allow you to see more easily in the dark, there is not one historical example of someone doing that despite hundreds of examples of the opposite. Furthermore, if eye patches were historically used to see under decks, which had lots of historically documented light sources, you would expect normal sailors to do so as well. Instead, our examples of eye patch usage is mostly limited to pirates and marines, both of whom suffered lots of eye injuries from wooden splinters from cannonballs. Maybe some pirates and normal civilians did use eye patches that way, but considering the incredible lack of evidence for the theory, it's most likely that eye patches were used for the obvious, covering wounds. Not just saving on candles, but ship marines had to do deadly close quarters fighting where retreat was not really an option, so it's one of the few places that two-weapon fighting was fairly common, either in terms of two melee weapons or carrying a pistol. So if your candle hand could instead say stab the guy you just locked sabers with, might be worth it to be half blind on the regular. Night vision. I once scratched the survive of my right eye pretty bad and had to spend 3 weeks in pretty much complete darkness even with an eye patch, but as I was healing and could open my eye in the dark, a tiny bit of light entering my room would light up the whole room. I basically had temporary night vision and it was a cool F. I woke up this morning with a bad hangover and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable. This comes in handy a lot of the time. I can leave it home when I think it's gonna get me in trouble, or I can rent it out when I don't need it. But now and then I go to a party, get drunk, and the next morning I can't for the life of me remember what I did with it. First I looked around my apartment, and I couldn't find it. So I called up the place where the party was. They hadn't seen it either. I asked them to check the medicine cabinet cause for some reason I leave it there sometimes but not this time. So I told them if it pops up to let me know. I called a few people who were at the party, but they were no help either. I was starting to get desperate. I really don't like being without my penis for too long. It makes me feel like less of a man. And I really hate having to sit down every time I take a leak. After a few hours of searching the house, and calling everyone I could think of, I was starting to get very depressed, so I went to the Kiev, and ate breakfast. Then, as I walked down 2nd Avenue towards Street Mark's place, where all those people sell used books and other junk on the street, I saw my penis lying on a blanket next to a broken toaster oven. Some guy was selling it. I had to buy it off him. He wanted $22, but I talked him down to 17. I took it home, washed it off, and put it back on. I was happy again, complete. People sometimes tell me I should get it permanently attached, but I don't know. Even though sometimes it's a pain in the ass, I like having a detachable penis. The act of copulation for drone male bees is so intense that their genitals break off, and the shock from breaking off causes their body to seize up and they plunge to the ground and die. Also, their junk is basically just the balls on the end of the penis, so they can insert it into the queen bee where it then breaks off after about 1 second. Yes, the renewed cells wouldn't have any memory, but when a cell dies you lose both the memories and the ability to have that memory, so we already lose our memories over time. Regenerating nerve cells wouldn't make you lose anything, and besides, humans actually do regenerate nerve cells. It was believed that we couldn't regenerate nerve cells until the 1960s, but later it was proven that humans do indeed regenerate nerve cells, albeit very slowly.